Ah, yes, here we are in the oh-so-original setting of a luxurious resort in the exotic Croatian town of Tolqa. James and M. Foster, our absolutely typical American couple, wake up in their hotel room, and because the script says so, they gaze out of the window before doing what all tourists do, eat breakfast. Welcome to Rapid Movie Recaps, where we rehash movie plots with a healthy dose of sarcasm. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and turn notifications on because, we need the validation. And if you're feeling extra generous, check out our merchandise below. Go on, help us sell out. Meanwhile, a quirky group of locals is busy preparing for the summoning, a traditional event that is totally not creepy at all. They don their grotesque masks because it's a custom, and not because they have nothing better to do. Cut to James and M eating. M is soaking in the local culture, while James is just so over it. But don't worry, folks. The plot thickens when James attends a racing event, because why not, and meets Gabi Bauer, a random woman who just happens to be a fan of that one book he wrote years ago. Gabi, ever the gracious host, invites James to dine with her and her husband Albin, because, a thrilling story always starts with dinner. In this edge-of-your-seat, totally original plot, we find our two couples dining at a restaurant. Albin, a master of throw pillows and curtain swatches, works as an interior designer. Gabi, the commercial actress, is basically the Croatian version of Flo from Progressive. Meanwhile, M is a wealthy publishing company owner and James, well, he's just riding those financial coattails. Gabi shows off her acting chops at dinner because, hey, why not? Later, James and Gabi dance, and James feels an odd sensation, which we're sure is nothing more than heartburn. The next day, M, ever the buzzkill, warns James about Tolqa's high crime rates and advises him to avoid talking to strangers. But of course, James thinks their new friends are as trustworthy as a politician's promise. Gabi and Albin whisk them away on a countryside drive, ignoring the resort's strict rules because they're just a bunch of rebels. The couples enjoy a totally not awkward afternoon at the beach. Gabi finds the perfect moment to, assist James with some personal needs behind a tree. Don't worry, kids, it's all part of the plot. As night falls, our tipsy couple, James and Gabi, head back to the resort. James, being the responsible adult he is, drives with flickering headlights. And what do you know? He accidentally hits a local resident who is mysteriously dead. James wants to report it, but Gabi's like, nah, the police are super corrupt here. Let's just move the body and pretend it never happened. And so they do, with Albin taking over as the designated driver. We can only imagine what shocking twists and turns await us next. The next day, the police are at James's door, and surprise, he's arrested for that pesky hit and run. Both Fosters are whisked off to the police station where James meets Detective Thresh, who's totally cool with James blaming the Bauers for stealing the car. Thresh then drops the bomb that the penalty for hit and run in Tolqa is death, yikes. But fear not, he has a secret plan. Clone James and had his doppelganger face the consequences. Because apparently, in Tolqa, that's just how they roll for rich tourists. After a quick signature and a swipe of his card, James goes through the super sci-fi cloning process involving red liquid and trippy visions of a naked Gabi. He wakes up to find his identical clone, and just like any sane person, he's freaked out when the clone opens its eyes. The clone takes the fall for James as it's brutally executed in front of M, who's understandably horrified. Wanting to leave ASAP, she's met with James's super creative excuse about a lost passport. So he sends her back to America alone, promising to follow in a few weeks. James stays at the resort and reunites with Gabi and Albin, who seem to know all about the clone fiasco. He meets other wealthy tourists who've had clones take the fall for their crimes, because nothing says vacation like watching your clone get executed. The group goes all eyes wide shut with those creepy masks from before and starts engaging in some pretty wild activities. They break into a wealthy couple's home, where Gabi tries to convince James to kill the homeowner. But James, who's new to the whole taking a life thing, hesitates. Chaos ensues as gunshots are exchanged and Albin takes a bullet to the leg. What could possibly happen next in this totally believable and not at all outrageous plot? Meanwhile, at the hotel, there's a captivating Indian dance performance that has everyone totally enthralled, but our mischievous gang's luck is about to run out. The next day, their crimes catch up to them and they're arrested. Detective Thresh shows up, scolding them for going too far this time. The officers create clones for each member, and in a twisted form of entertainment, watch the clones get executed. At this point, it's basically a spectator sport. James returns to his hotel room to find him still there, disgusted by his decision to stay. In a moment of pure sensitivity, he tells her to go back to her father. Classy James. Gabi finds James on the beach and kisses him, leading to a wild, drug-fueled fling complete with an orgy, because why not? That night, James sneaks into the cloning facility and joins the group in assaulting a man with a bag over his head. He's horrified to discover it's one of his own clones, which sends him into a spiral of self-reflection. Feeling humiliated and realizing the madness he's involved in, James decides he's had enough. He grabs his passport and gets on a bus to leave. But Gabi and her pals aren't about to let James escape that easily. They chase the bus, shooting at it, and eventually capture James, forcing him to walk ahead of their vehicle. Gabi taunts him, admitting she never read his book and mocking him with a review. James tries to escape but ends up getting shot in the leg. The plot thickens, but is it enough to save this bizarre story? Injured and desperate, James collapses near a farm where some good-natured farmers take him in. Cue the horrifying hallucinations, like the hit-and-run victim's son trying to strangle him and visions of M joining the gang to torture him. It's like a bad fever dream, but with more plot twists. Gabi and the gang track James down, insisting he complete his transformation by killing his own clone. James initially resists, but when his clone goes full-on beast mode, he has no choice but to defend himself, ultimately killing the doppelganger. Gabi, in a tender display of compassion, offers her breast for James to find solace. Because yeah, that's a thing that happens. Days later, James calls M to apologize and tell her he's coming home. He boards a bus to the airport with the rest of the group, but a sudden change of heart sends him back to the resort during the storm season. He sits by the pool, drenched and broken, wondering how it all went so wrong. And cut. That's a wrap on this roller coaster of a plot. To watch this wild ride of a movie, check out the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more rapid movie recaps.